Let's get it. Lord, they bout to look at the shit that I'm on. Why don't we get in topic? Crew looking like Pentatonics, locked in, recording in tropics. In the East, big 3, big bronze, he be way good, he working on optics. Thought biz while smoking exotics, we lit, never thought about it. Just they bout to look at the shit that I'm on. Why don't we get in topics? Sitting way back, all black, I'm talking. Feeling like Shaq, I weigh my options. In the East, big 3, big bronze, he be way good, he working on optics. Thought biz while smoking exotics. It's all see all the projects. It's all
Yes, sir. What's up? RCR Presents MSD Sports. My name is Sam, also known as YBK. We got Mikey. We got Camden. And welcome to episode 3 of MSD Sports. Mikey, introduce yourself. Let's get it, Mikey. Introduce yourself.
What's good, y'all? It is Michael John coming to you from the 02135, Beantown, Boston. Shout out my brothers.
Yes, sir. Camden, what's up?
You know what it is? It's your boy Camden Lee, same in the 90205, do what I gotta do. And we're just in LA doing our thing and just trying to see what's up. It's getting a little chilly out here. I don't know about y'all. I know the East Coast getting a little cold, but over here, it's starting to drop a little bit.
Definitely. LA's definitely getting chillier. But that jingle you guys heard right there, a song called Big 3. With the artist named Keem Hay. Shout out Keem Hay. Let's go. Produced by YBK. And yes, that's going to be a new MSD jingle. Hope y'all like it. And today in episode 3, we have a lot to talk about. We're going to talk about some NFL matchups on Sunday. Let's get it. Also, that Monday game, we're going to have some nice NFL predictions going. Maybe some discussions about some players. And then we're going to move on to the NBA, talk about the NBA injury reports, NBA matchups, NBA news, NBA debates. Let's get it, get the spark on. And then we're going to finish it off with the MLB. Right now, the hot stove, getting cooking in the free agency. So we're going to talk about all that. So let's get it.
Pimpin', YBK, you know what it is. It's always great to be with my boys, YBK, Michael John. Thank you guys, you know what I'm saying? You know what it is, your boy Ken Lee. But to start it off, NFL, the Los Angeles Chargers, come on, beat the Atlanta Falcons 17-13. The Chargers defense stands tall. You know what it is. Los Angeles had a rough day with possession on the ball, finishing with under 200 yards on offense for the day, going only 3 for 11 on third down. But, that number one thing that speaks for itself is those 4 interceptions. And, that was not on the Chargers. That was due to your boy Kirk Cousins just not being able to handle the ball. They gave up plenty of yards and, gave up a ton of yards over the cross line, but at the end of the day, the field goals just weren't enough. The Falcons wasted a Sunday. The entire day was just a sequence of missed opportunities for the Falcons. They entered in Week 13, ranked dead last in the NFL with sacks, with a total of 10, and they found a way up to only get Justin Herbert a couple times, and it really wasn't much, to be honest. And Bijan Robinson finished in the game with only 102 yards and a touchdown on 26 attempts, it just for Kirk Cousins throwing 4 interceptions, including one that was returned for a touchdown, and it just killed one of the best scoring drives in the whole play. Like, when I tell you, watching this game, I had Kirk Cousins on my fantasy team. Luckily, I did not start him, but it was just unspeakable. And Younghoe Koo,
the kicker?
Yeah.
Missing field goals. What's going on, guys? What's going on? I don't know. I mean, Kirk Cousins is getting paid a lot of money, guys.
A lot.
And he's been not playing well the last few games. Do you think it's time to bench Kirk Cousins? Like, I'm a little concerned. Talk to me.
I'm gonna say overreaction. Kirk Cousins is they're like a middling team, right? Can you blame Kirk Cousins for like receivers not getting open, right? Like, obviously we know Kyle Pitts has kind of been a disappointment, or not a decent year, but hasn't lived up to that potential. Darnell Mooney has fallen off. I'm not sure where the hell he's been, right? Like,
That's true.
Opposite of a full moon right now. No Mooney to be seen. And, I think you got to give Kirk a couple more games at least. They're still sitting in a position to win that division, no problem. So I say overreaction if we're talking about is Cousins getting benched yet. Overreaction.
I mean, Sam, talk to me. I mean, 4 picks, one return for a pick six. What would you do? He's not been playing well the last few games.
I mean, I 4 picks is big, but like I agree what Mikey says about. I mean, he has 3,000 yards right now still. Veteran quarterback, he's proven himself, but the lack of receivers just really hurts the quarterback. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I'm seeing the stats right now.
But
Like,
is it a lack of receivers? You have Drake London. We have Kyle Pitts. You know what I mean? We have Bijan Robinson, which is a decent running back. You have Algier, which is also another decent
Algier,
running
yeah.
back. You have Mooney, you know what I'm saying, who can catch the ball. My question is Kirk Cousins just not mobile enough at the end of the day? Like he looked like, what I mean, he was a JV quarterback back there. He couldn't run, he couldn't move. He couldn't move. Talk to me.
I don't know. I mean, Kirk Cousins always proved himself year in, year out. But seeing him like this to like fall even after this game, these four picks, they are painful to see. But I still believe in him. We ain't gonna sit him. We
The
have to start him.
mobility has been obviously an issue ever since the start of the year because of the Achilles injury, right? So, and he's 36, right? So, like, the mobility has been a kind of an issue all year. I think you give him time in the pocket, he'll be okay. That was a game that they let get away. If you possess the ball 12 minutes longer and outgain offensive like yard wise, like the opposite team, you should be winning the game. You got to finish in the red zone. They didn't finish in the red zone. You know, I still think that division is just not strong enough, and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers have had too many injuries to win that division. So I still got
And
Atlanta making the playoffs and winning that division.
you still making a play. I mean, my problem with that is that if Kirk is still going to be immobile, statue Kirk at this point, and especially playing these divisional games throughout the end of the year, do you think it's time to make a change, especially when you have a little extra time to, maybe see, maybe now he does play this week, and maybe, I mean, with this performance, maybe he has a bounce back performance, but I mean, guys are eating, but the decision making and the field goals, those are the two things that are hampering the Atlanta Falcons these days. And I think at the end of the day, even if they do make the playoffs, which they're going to be squeaking in, I think they're not going to last long or do much because their kicking game is just not where it needs to be.
What I think is a bigger question out of this game and this matchup is, do you guys think that the Los Angeles Chargers are going to be able to punch a wild card spot, or could somehow the Chiefs implode and they take that division? Keep in mind, we saw the Denver Broncos play an incredible game and move to 8-5 as well.
Incredible.
I think the Chargers are, I like a hard-nosed team. I think that Harbaugh has showed that he's deserved to come back to the NFL, and I think Chargers are a wild card team.
I mean,
I think the Chargers can make the wild card as well.
I agree.
I can see that.
I agree.
I can see that.
I was just about to say that. Exactly.
Yeah.
But one thing about Kirk Cousins, I gotta say is, I ain't gonna start no Michael Phoenix Jr. over Kirk Cousins. That's one thing I gotta say. I ain't gonna start that back up over Kirk. That's it.
You don't think he's ready? You don't think he's ready?
It begs the question, why did they draft they sign Kirk Cousins, right, in free agency, and then draft someone that high in the first round? So that's the
Okay.
only reason why I think you're right, Camden, that we're gonna see Penix Jr. come in. And those fans in
Okay.
Atlanta are very, like, they seem to
Ruthless.
clamoring for Penix to come in, but I say stick with the vet for now. We're rushing young quarterbacks into the game too fast, and that, yeah, I think it's detrimental to a young player's mindset.
Mm,
Totally.
sure.
Totally agree.
Yeah, I know it says that, what I mean, and since week 10, I mean, Kirk Cousins has posted 3 straight games with a negative expected points, what I mean, in terms of span, in terms of a negative 24.6 EPA in a span, and that ranks third lowest among quarterbacks. So, what I mean, since week 10, which is halfway through the season, guys have kind of know what they're going to do. So,
How
but
about
anyway,
how about a couple quarterbacks that put up some crazy offensive numbers in another shootout for the Cincinnati Bengals, coming up short again against Let him cook. Steelers country, Russell Wilson. So, I mean, what an offensive showing. I This has been an incredible year for Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase, but a really big letdown for the Cincinnati Bengals. And I have to say, I'm very impressed. Russell Wilson has absolutely surprised me this year.
Mm, mm. Yeah, I mean, with Pittsburgh, I mean, going 44-38 against Cincinnati, it's just that shootout was just unbelievable. Like you got the Steelers, I mean, scored on 5 straight drives. I mean, they had 3 touchdowns and 2 field goals, and I mean, Wilson had 257 yards in 30 minutes. Like the guy was just doing his thing. I think being able to see the switch from him and Justin Fields, you're kind of really seeing, okay, him really being able to transform that offense in a really, really great way. I know he had that first pick six where, what I mean, Pickens kind of fell, but I think after that he kind of was like, okay, like I can do what I need to do. And I think even seeing that score without that pick six, is the game even close? Do you know what I'm saying? So, I don't know. I don't know. I mean, Justin Fields did do a little bit, help out a little bit. I think that dual threat does throw people off, especially a defense like the Bengals. But the Bengals defense just can't get any lower. And for the 6th time this season, the Bengals allowed 34 or more points on defense. And coming off of a bye, like I, I just don't know, man, guys. Do you think the Super Bowl window for the Cincinnati Bengals is closing? Like, I don't. It's just that defense is just Joe Burrow's putting up points.
It's shrinking for sure. The Super Bowl
Do you know
window
what
is
I mean?
shrinking. I think when you have someone like Joe Burrow, Cool Joe, if you have an elite caliber quarterback and like top 3 elite caliber wide receiver, the offense isn't the question. Really, what needs to be looked at is what is going on different and why can't Zach Taylor stop any other team, right? That's it. Like you can't score 30 points or more and lose the game like every time in a season that you score 30 points. It's just crazy. So, is the window closed? I don't think so when you have players like that, like generational talents, because I really think what Jamar Chase and Joe Burrow have shown us is generational talent. But
Mm.
competitive division. Pittsburgh, Mike Tomlin never has a record below 500, and the Baltimore Ravens are nasty. So the window is tight, very tight.
I totally agree. I mean, for me, I feel like this year Bengals are done. Like what you said, Jamar Chase's offensive numbers with Joe Burrow is crazy. In terms of offense output, is insane. But they have so much to work on because they're so young. That young team going that deep in that playoff run, it shows all of us. But I feel like this year they're done. Like what you said, Mikey, that vision is tough. It's just outright tough. But it was a great
Do we
shootout.
still consider do we still consider Joe Burrow elite, even though he's, what I mean, at the end of the day,
Yeah.
what I mean, not being able to make it happen when it comes to these close games or these games in general?
I think
Can't blame the quarterback when he drives you down the field and scores 38 points
yeah,
in a
yeah.
game, right? You can't, and keeps giving you the lead back, right? Can't really blame the quarterback in that sense. So, Joe Burrow's having one of the best seasons of his year, but ironically enough, that's the up and downs of the NFL. It's all phases of the game and not just offense and defense, special teams as well. So,
Everything. Everything's
Do
affected.
we think T. Higgins is going to resign? Do we think he's staying? I mean, I mean, Jamar's having a great year. And Sam, I'm really asking you, our stats guy. I mean, I know you love Jamar, and I know you love T. Higgins low key. So I'm trying to figure out, do you think your boy's gonna resign? Talk to me.
I feel like Higgins is gonna ask for a lot, though, in my opinion. But I don't think the Bengals are down for doing that because they already have Joey Burrow and Jamar. I mean, you can get a nice wide receiver to grow him, develop him. I feel like then pay T Higgins. So I don't see him coming back, but it'll be a
How
big
much
hit.
you think he's
It'll be
looking
a big
for?
hit. It'd be a
How much
big
you think
win.
he's looking for, Sam? How much you think he's looking for?
I got.
4-year deal?
I mean, to be safe,
4-year, 88 million,
minimum
more than
three.
that?
But yeah. I mean, minimum 3 years for sure.
Okay.
Get some guarantee money for sure, right? Oh, for sure. If you're, especially him
Okay.
that level. I mean, right now he's getting what, 21 mil franchise tag.
Mm-hmm.
I say give him like 24 for 3 years. That's like the minimum for a team to look for him. But I don't see the Bengals paying that though.
The market is
So you're
tough on
saying
wide receivers.
But
so they pay him 24 a year for 3 years?
24,
That's
25. I mean, he might ask for 30 because, you know what I'm saying? Like, CD Lamb's
Crazy.
contract looking crazy.
CD looking. Wow.
But he's number
You
one.
gotta-
That guy's number one in contracts in wide receiver. Or I think the whole. I don't. As a wide receiver.
We'll see.
Yeah, we'll see.
We'll see.
It's going to change a lot of things for teams if they get T. Higgins because he's going to be a vital piece in that whatever team he goes to, you know.
I mean, well, when we think about it, though, is that really the case? I mean, Stephon Diggs, we think about the Houston Texans right now. They beat the Jacksonville Jaguars 23-20 earlier this week, and Stephon's been hurt. He hasn't been playing. He had a couple of games in the beginning of the season, but he hasn't really been doing much. And I mean, the Texans survived a close game without him. I mean, they took a 23-6 lead, and I mean, they kind of coasted, and with Trevor Lawrence getting knocked out of the game, which Mikey, I want to talk to you about that hit because that was crazy.
That was insane.
Crazy.
That was messed up.
I mean, Mac Jones. Shout out to my boy Mac. Used to be a Pro Bowler. Played for the Pats.
The
I mean? He
Patriot.
rallied Jacksonville with 2 touchdowns in the last 12 minutes. So I can't be mad at my boy. You know what I'm saying? But Joe Mixon did some late running, put it on ice. You know what I mean? We know that him going from the Bengals, which I think they're missing him tremendously. You know what I mean? After for this season, I think they could definitely use a more run game so that they're not throwing the ball as much, running out the clock. But the Texans played a more clean game on offense, no turnovers, 2 sacks, 1 penalty. They're kind of doing their thing, and the Jaguars. I think it's time to shut everybody down. I mean,
Yeah.
Lawrence is hurt with everything that just happened. He got carted off the field, immediately ruled out with a concussion. He got with that hit with Azir.
He got suspended, no?
I mean,
3 games?
how
That's what I
many
heard.
games?
I think he got suspended 3 games, but he's appealing it. That's what I heard.
Bruh, I mean,
That was a bad hit, though,
got-
David. That was
he got ejected.
Yeah.
He got ejected.
Yeah.
And I mean, I don't know, man. That hit looked crazy. I had a couple people hit me up, you know what I mean, and say, "Did you see that hit on Trevor Lawrence?" And I even was like, "Okay, that was a lot.
It was messed
It
up.
was, it was messed up." And when you look at it, there's linemen. They usually roll out. Even some linebackers, they usually will roll out. You know what I mean, real quick and hit you with their shoulder pad. But he looked like he went out to deck him. And the real question is that do you think the Houston Texans were afraid of Trevor Lawrence? So they said, let's knock this mug out for a second. I don't know. I mean, with Mac Jones, the backup, coming back in and coming in and scoring 2 touchdowns, I mean,
Guys, you see this right here?
Yeah. Oh.
You see this red, right?
The Lego.
This is the red button, bro. On the Jaguars season, blow it all up, eject it. It's over. It's done. I like Doug Peterson. He's a great coach. He's having a bad year. They've lost all their close games. I don't think no one's scared of the Jaguars, what they've presented this year. They've played tough games. It is undeniable that was a dirty hit. That was the definition of a dirty hit. Clearly going into a slide, super open field, targeting the head area. I mean, I don't know what else to say besides he should be suspended for 3 games. I was thinking minimum 2, right? Like my first initial, just seeing the hit, I was like, that's 2 games off rip. Watching it back, 3 would be completely fair to me because that's a dirty hit. And we want to protect the players. I get it. The game is a contact sport, but you got to remember at the end of the day, where do we draw the line? Right.
Exactly.
So
Hmm.
Unfortunately, they should suspend him 3 games. You miss 3 game checks, Alshire. You still get in a bag and you still get to play football, but you gotta suffer the consequences of that.
I feel like it's
Because
all.
Lawrence,
I feel like it's sportsmanship. Come on, like you're playing football. Like it is a contact sport, but it's not like that contact. And in football, there's instances where it's life threatening for that quarterback. Trevor Lawrence, he
Mhm,
got carted off. Like you see him
mhm.
after he gets hit, like his arm moves, like his getting concussed. Like this man is didn't have to deal with this kind of situation. But definitely Texans
True.
played it dirty at him.
Now let me tell you something. Only imagine if that hit was done on Tua.
Oh man, yeah,
Yeah, might have had the
yeah,
first murder in NFL history.
yeah. It's,
So
it's not
Listen,
it's not
too.
good.
Or what the fine would be like if it was Patrick Mahomes. That's real, you know what I'm saying?
Mm,
very fair point.
yeah.
Very fair. You know what I'm saying? But shout out to my boy Evan Ingram. He's on my fantasy team. He's doing what's up. He was the first man to throw hands, you know what I'm saying? Just to let people know, okay, don't mess with my quarterback.
Yep.
I hope Jacksonville, if y'all seen this, you resign that boy, make sure he gets a bag. I know he got a little something, something, but I'm telling you, you know what I'm saying? He was the first one to go to fisticuffs for Trevor Lawrence. I think that really shows how much he really cares about the team and really cares about Trevor as a player and just as a leader. So I was happy to see that. Ain't no fights in the NFL. I'm not condoning the fighting. I'm not condoning the fighting. But I'm just saying, look out for your quarterback. You know what I'm saying, Playboy?
Definitely.
You already know what it is. You
He's
already
your
know what it is.
man. You have to.
But I mean, what are we thinking? Do we think that the Houston Texans are getting a playoff spot? Do we think they're gonna do some damage in the playoffs? And because it looks like CJ's sophomore slump looks like it's starting to come into effect a little bit. He's I mean he's really relying on that running game and he's not looking like the CJ that he saw last year.
Sophomore slump is real. Confirmed. It is real. He looked very calm and poised last year. I'm surprised that with another year of chemistry building with the likes of Tank Dell, Dalton Schultz, Nico Collins, I know injuries have been a factor, because Stephon Diggs is gone. Collins had the hamstring. I just feel like something looks a step off, but they win the games. Reminds
Hmm.
me a little bit of like the Titans with Mike Vrabel when like he would win games. So it doesn't always got to be pretty, and obviously CJ Stroud is much better when compared to the likes of Ryan Tannehill. Definitely having a bit of a tougher year, but the saving grace has been Joe Mixon, who became the first player all
Mix.
time to have 100 plus rushing yards and one or more
Insane.
rushing touchdowns in
That's
6 straight road games.
crazy.
So
Mm.
big respect, to the running game and big respect to Joe Mixon because I was not a believer. Like fantasy wise this year, I was not a believer in Joe Mixon, and I stand corrected.
Yeah.
Joe
Yeah.
Mixon, Joe
There's a lot of,
Mixon.
lot of running backs leaving and doing some stuff in their other teams. I feel like it's been I switched to a new team, I do some new damage. I mean, speaking of a new team and doing some damage, you know what I mean? Minnesota Vikings barely beat the Arizona Cardinals 23-20. Darnold scores a fourth quarter. Vikings come back. Nothing really was working for the Vikings offense early. You know what I mean? They
Yeah.
generated 5 first downs in the first half and 75 yards total. They settled for 2 field goals. I mean, there was an Aaron Jones fumble. It just nothing was going right. Nothing. And I don't know, man. Kyler Murray, for some reason, one day he looks like he's Batman and doing everything. Next minute he's looking like Bruce Wayne. Just, you know what I mean? Not really able to be capable of doing much. Having red zone issues, you know what I mean? Just 1 of 6 in the red zone. I mean, just an ugly interception. Like it's just
Can I tell you
we
something? You know what just came out? We all know it just came out about a month ago, right? We know about the slumps with Kyler. We know he liked playing his Call of Duty. We know what he liked doing. So,
a
so
man put on the controller.
we know this time of year what it is. Uh, I think that really though, I gotta say, the Jets have the ability to make any quarterback look terrible. And I really think Sam Darnold has had a great year. The fact
Mm,
that he was finally able to overcome a 2-score deficit for the first time in his career, trailing 13 points and winning a game. I think it's a testament to the Vikings being a solid team, but I also think it shows that with the right team around you, the right mindset, the right coaching, you can find success with talent. So just don't get drafted to the Jets.
I mean, you know, Kevin O'Connell is a great coach. I think he's a quarterback whisperer at the end of the day. He's worked with a lot of great talent. And I think the resurgence of Sam Darnold, if he doesn't stay with Minnesota, which you got JJ McCarthy sitting in the weeds. He did just have a surgery. He just went under surgery again. So, what I mean, we're hoping that the timetable of him coming back right on next season is right. But again, he's still a little bit iffy. So even if Sam Darnold doesn't resign with the Minnesota Vikings, he earned himself a bag. I think, what I mean, I know that I think when he went 0-23 or something like that in terms of his fourth quarter games, and I think um at the end of the day, yeah, I think he earned a bag this year. And like you said, I think the Jets just don't do well when it comes to quarterbacks. You know what I mean? We have, Aaron Rodgers dealing with that same situation currently. So I think, yeah, if you get drafted to the Jets and you're a young quarterback, serve your time and try to get out because
Good luck.
they're trying. For some reason, they haven't hired the right quarterback whisperer yet. So
Good luck.
we'll see.
Yep.
There is a game that I would like to talk about. Don't have to get into great detail because my boys is having a rough year again, but that's all right because we have a quarterback for the future in the
do.
New England Patriots with Drake May. So came up short, right? Indianapolis Colts get a 2-point conversion to win the game, right? Big boy Anthony
Crazy.
Richardson got benched one game and has figured out how to play a few games without running around like
Coming out.
Josh Allen in year one, throwing balls up and trying to make something work. I will say, I think that it says a lot about the state of the Patriots right now, right? Before the Patriots and Colts game, any team that scored 23 points, passed for over 200 yards, rushed for over 200 yards, punted only once, and won the turnover margin, all 72 times it happened, that team won until the New England Patriots of 2024. And that's the kind of year it was. As a Patriots fan, no shame right now. I love seeing the young talent. I know that we'll be able to add some more players to this team. I think we were bailed out for many years with great coaching, great quarterback play that allowed us to spend more money on the defensive side of the ball versus the offensive side of the ball. But they're going to need to fork over the money, I think Robert might be handing Jonathan the keys to the whip soon. So we'll see what direction that we go in the future. I think it's a bright future. And I really think that, Drake May is a good pocket passer, but he has the ability to scramble. And actually right now, Drake May has the highest yards per carry average of a quarterback.
No
He was
way.
at 9.1 for a single season,
What?
9.1 as a qualified rusher. So
Did not know that.
he's mobile. He's a big boy. I like his vision. And, I'm hopeful for the future. And you know what? We were up big for so many years. I'm going to be a good sport when we're down bad and still ride with my boys.
I mean, Drake May running for 9.6 yards. You know what I mean? He's up there with Vic. You know what I mean? And he doesn't run that fast. I mean, the boy's mobile. I love Drake May. I'm really, really happy for the New England Patriots. I think I'm excited to get a couple weapons. But does that really tell you about the offensive line and how terrible that is, where this boy has to scramble, or the fact that we don't have weapons to get open, and so that he has so much time he has to wait in the pocket that he has to run. Man ran for what, 200 yards in a game this season. You know what I'm saying? He's not Lamar, but he running like Lamar.
How old is he?
So I mean,
He's
what,
young,
20?
young?
He's
He
young.
baby
young,
boy.
He's young, Sam. He's only
When did he
22.
get 20? Wow. Okay, yeah, y'all.
22.
He's
22.
He's
That's-
22.
that's-
And
22.
I think the Patriots, as a fan of the Patriots, like just seeing the ball getting moved down the field is like a sight to be happy to see. So the rushing game was great, but really I just like seeing the sticks moving, some points going up on the board, and we'll see. Give them another year. We'll get some high draft picks, and we'll see where they go. But future's bright for Drake May as of now.
Nice.
I'm loving it. I'm loving it. I'm loving it.
There is a really huge game that I really want to hear about, Sam.
Yes.
From you.
Yes.
And I think you know what game I'm talking about.
Of course.
I think you know what game I'm talking about.
We got to smack it away right now.
Had to do with a couple birds, so
I call it the Bird Bowl. It was at Baltimore. Birdies came winning. Oh, both teams coming from LA. They beat their LA teams. Yeah, all right, peace out, Rams. Peace out, Chargers. We're going back to the East Coast. But man, oh man, Eagles taking on the Ravens 24-19. And this is where things get very spicy, guys. As an Eagles fan, last year, 10-1, feeling good, and we crumbled. But this game really proved that Eagles aren't a good team. We're a great team. Coming 2024. And Saquon coming off a 255 rushing yard performance, and even translating that to the 71 yard he did in the Ravens game, still kind of showed that he is him right now. And our defense really got the Ravens pulling back. I don't know if you guys watched. The defense really pulled. Like, Derrick Henry ran for only 84 yards. And our defense be looking good. How'd you guys feel? Like, I'm like, wow, It was a close game, but but you guys, talk to me.
I mean, I had some money on the game. You know what I mean? Shout out to the boys. You know what I'm saying? They definitely helped me out, hit the parlay.
Yes, sir.
You know what I'm saying? I was very grateful on the carries, on a couple catches, you know what I'm saying, on the yards. So shout out to the Eagles. Y'all helped to pay a couple bills this week, so I'm very grateful. Shout out to y'all. Sir. But no, I mean, I think a lot of people thought, okay, this is gonna be the game where Saquon runs like he should and Derek runs like he should. And really, it was the offensive line of the Philadelphia Eagles dismantling the defensive line when it came to the Baltimore Ravens. And at the same vice versa, the defensive line of the Philadelphia Eagles just manhandling Derrick Henry and the Baltimore Ravens. So I think that the linemen really showed you who really is in charge. And I know, you know what I mean, a big stat, you know what I mean, which is crazy. Lamar has lost two games at this point, I think, when it comes to NFC teams. I think this was his second loss. So when it comes to the NFC, he pretty much dominates. And Philly just kind of showed him, we can put you in a box, we can shut you down, and we have Saquon who's gonna heat up in the fourth quarter to let you know, I'm gonna still get my hundo, and I'm gonna get my touchdown. I'm gonna do my job real quick. So that was something I just was like, okay, the Philadelphia Eagles look like Super Bowl contenders, and I think Detroit is gonna be in trouble when it comes to the postseason. I'm just saying.
Woo!
Did you guys remember that one clip of when the Ravens were playing Kansas City and Tucker set up the balls, right? Pregame. It was like a very viral clip that has resurfaced this week. And Kelsey picked all them fucking balls up and he
threw them,
yeeted them out of there. Justin Tucker has had a bad year. It's like unreal to say that, but by Justin Tucker's standards, like being the most accurate kicker of all time, this has been a really disastrous year. So you're right that, the Eagles ran the ball and it helps keep the clock running. But let's not say that like Lamar didn't do enough to put them in a position to have the lead in this game, right? Justin Tucker missed 2 field goals and an extra point attempt. So 19 plus 7 is 26, right? They would have had the lead. I'm not saying that you'd win because obviously there's a chain reaction, but the points being left on the board in these sort of close games where the teams can run the ball and it really becomes a battle of the trenches, I really think the biggest highlight that I have to say about why the Eagles are different this year, Sam,
Hmm.
no implosion after the 10-1 start,
Yeah.
is the defense. Like Saquon Barkley put his stamp on it, guys. Third episode in a row that I'm going to reiterate. Saquon Barkley OPY. No doubt about it. No doubt about it. Derrick Henry can still do it. Who knows if he rips off 200-yard games? Like it
True.
ain't over,
It's
right? And
possible.
Jamar Chase
Ain't
might rip
over.
off a 200-yard game twice too. But Saquon Barkley has really, I think, put the stamp on, the OPY. And I am excited to see if this is the matchup in the Super Bowl. I would love it. I would absolutely love it.
It would be great.
Philly, Kansas City, having a nice little rematch.
No, Philly and Baltimore, my brother.
Philly and
Philly
Baltimore
and
running it
Baltimore.
back.
That would be a
I
crazy
would,
Man,
Super
I,
Bowl.
I would love for that to be the Super
the
Bowl.
real
I would
Super
love
Bowl.
nothing more.
I've already seen it, and I saw Philly won. I'm not trying to see that again. I'm trying to see. I'm trying to see Saquon run over Patrick Mahomes and see what happens.
Oh, that's a crazy picture, David. That's crazy.
That's what I'm trying to see. I'm trying to
That's
see Saquon run for
crazy.
2 against
Oh
Patrick
my
Mahomes. Patrick Mahomes does a
gosh.
game winner, and then Philly wins a chip next
Oh.
year. They go back to back, and then you know what I'm saying.
Speaking
That's
of
what I'm
Justin
thinking.
Tucker, with those 2 missed attempts on Sunday, Justin Tucker has now missed a career high 8 field goals this season. Is it the coming down of Justin Tucker, that dominating kicker that we always used to see? Doesn't he have the record, the 64? I remember from like 2 years ago or a
Longest
year
field
ago.
goal.
Longest field goal
Yes.
ever. Is it
Yeah.
That's
over?
24. That's 24 points, guys. That's make or break when it comes to a season.
Damn.
24 points, and it's what we're not even in a full 18 games yet.
No.
That's make or break. I mean, I think has the distance, Mikey, made a difference? That's the $1 million question.
They moved it back.
Do you think the distance has changed and messed up some of these older guys where their follow through isn't what it used to be? Because he's not missing it by hooking it left or right. He's missing it by a football or two. You feel me? So it's like, or is it the holders?
Whatever it is, something has affected him, and he's no longer the most accurate kicker of all time in the NFL. The most recent kicker to hit the top now plays for the Kansas City Chiefs, and it's Harrison Butker.
Oh, Butker,
So
he's an elite kicker too.
it's just like, why does everything have to be in the Chiefs right now? Why do the Chiefs have to have all of the best everything, right? Like it's like as bad as Travis Kelce has looked, as bad as Mahomes has looked, I can understand why you would love to see the Philadelphia Eagles come head to head with those Kansas City Chiefs, and I can
Yes.
understand why we might have some doubts in these close games for the Baltimore Ravens when your historically great kicker is not hitting the clutch kicks. There's not like a one answer to this. It's more, let's see when the crunch moments come up. Let's see if we can bang some kicks.
Yep.
Listen, talk about crunch moments. Talk about crunch moments. Can we talk about your boy, Josh Allen?
Wow.
Please, Mikey, can you run us down? What was happening, Playboy? I know Josh Allen is your boy, and you know I just saw San Francisco crumble to the ground in the snow.
Thank you.
Talk to me. You know what I'm saying? I seen them boys crumbling, disintegrated in the snow. You know what I'm saying? It was over.
They was playing backyard ball. They was playing backyard ball. They was playing. We got a snow day. We called out. We went to the big field. We hooking lateraling. We playing off whim. I think that this does give Josh Allen the slight advantage on MVP right now.
What?
Because listen, best record already clinched the division, right? 11 wins, already clinched the division. Another year going to the playoffs. Clear leader on the team. Stephon Diggs left. They drafted Keon Coleman, and they're using guys like that. Just, you know what I'm saying? Shakir, you're telling me. I know they traded for Amari Cooper, but Amari Cooper's not. He's not at the prime early part of his career. He's a great route runner, a great veteran presence. You can't tell me that they have not overperformed what some expectations were cast on them. There was a lot of doubt cast on them. And really, I felt like the whole Josh Allen personified was the play, right? Amari Cooper out left, throw a little slant to Amari Cooper,
Crazy.
run around and catch a lateral, so
Yup.
you don't get a reception, but you just scored a reception touchdown because you got the lateral from your own completed pass.
That's
Un
crazy.
Unreal, really unreal. And I couldn't be happier. I needed all the points that I could get to solidify that matchup. Shout out to Theo. Had to take that W. I mean, I'm very impressed with Josh Allen and the Bills, and I think really the saddest part of the day was the fact that CMC is officially shut down.
It's done.
PCL, non-contact PCL,
It wasn't the
not
season
a
for him
great
this year.
look.
Nope.
No.
An incredibly unfortunate series of events. No Lemony Snicket for the San Francisco 49ers this year. And I think we're looking at perhaps the AFC's representation in the Super Bowl right here. That's how
You love Josh Allen.
You going
You
Bills all
really
the
think
way?
you really the Buffalo don't play nobody. That's why I'm confused. You really think the Bills are gonna be able to take it and overtake Baltimore or
Or
the
the
Kansas
Chiefs?
City Chiefs?
I mean, they did lose to Baltimore earlier in the year.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this is understood.
That's
Baltimore has also lost to crappy teams, but when push came to shove, that game was not as crucial for the Bills, and it was a crucial turning point, if you remember, because the Ravens were like what, hovering like at 500. It was like early in the year, but it sets you off with a losing record to start the year. The game that showed what Buffalo had circled on the calendar was when they played Kansas City, and we saw what happened, right? So. It,
true.
I'm really thinking that this is, right? We talked about Super Bowl windows earlier with the Cincinnati Bengals. Like, this is it for Buffalo. This is it. How many years in a row are you going to have a team like this, coaching like this, roster like this, with the salary cap that you're staying within, with that talent, and be able to make a deep run? I think this is it. So, only time will tell.
With Stephon Diggs leaving, I think it raised a lot of concerns. But it left a lot of toxic energy from what I've heard. That's just what I've heard. You feel me? Out of the Buffalo Bills locker room. And I think with that, I think Josh Allen doesn't have to worry about who he throws it to. I think even with the loss of Kincaid, who was out this past game, they still put up 35 points on San Francisco, which is unbelievable. I do understand the Josh Allen Kool-Aid is definitely starting to taste a little bit nice and spicier. So I might be having a sip of that. But at the end of the day, I still feel like you gotta run through the king if you want to catch the throne.
Yes.
So Kansas City is still my lock. I think I'm gonna see another rematch. Kansas City and Buffalo. The question is, do we think Buffalo can clinch that number one seed? So it's gonna be, you know what I mean? We're gonna be seeing, you know what I mean, paying $18 to see the Buffalo Bills in the snow, or are we gonna be in Arrowhead with one of the number one kickers and the number one quarterback in the league right now, Patrick Mahomes?
Number one. I mean that game, 49ers, everything just crumbled one by one by one by one. Losing CMC, Moody missing 2 field goals, Debo only had 20 receiving yards. They just got dismantled. They just broke down that game. It just, you know. So man,
Yeah.
Shout out to the Bills though. Mr. Josh Allen looking good. Josh Allen versus Saquon. I'm going Saquon, but damn, he looking good though. Because that game, he made history. Wasn't he like the first quarterback to have the 3 touchdowns, reception, rushing, and receiving? So he made some history on that game.
The
Listen, breaking
trifecta,
records.
The
Breaking
Trinity.
records, Josh.
the
Breaking
holy
records
trinity
there.
of touchdowns.
Wow. He did it all.
Going crazy.
That's
Going
amazing.
crazy.
That
Shoot.
is amazing.
Oh man, no. I mean, there is one game that I do want to talk about in terms of quarterbacks really taking a step up. Tampa Bay barely escaped the Carolina Panthers in overtime 26-23. Is Bryce Young taking that extra step? I mean, I know Baker and the guys got a little lucky with a fumble in OT,
Mm-hmm.
but is Bryce Young really gonna take a step a little bit and is deciding, hey, I'm gonna be a top 10 quarterback or a top 10 pick at least at quarterback? You know what I'm saying?
Mm.
I don't know. I don't know. Um, and Adam Thielen had a one-handed catch, which was unbelievable, which I think instills a lot of confidence. But at the end of the day, Irvin Bucky, I mean, Bucky Irvin, he just was running
Stepped up.
rampant on these boys. And with 13 touches in the fourth quarter and in overtime, I think it kind of just dismantled the Carolina Panthers defensive line. So you know what I mean. Rashid White had a big long gamer, but with Tampa Bay losing or Tampa Bay winning so closely, do we think Tampa Bay is going to be able to do something in the playoffs? Are they going to make a playoff spot? Sam, talk to me. What are we thinking?
I don't know. Well, Bucky Irving, though, I feel like is a hot topic I can see coming up this year for the Buccaneers. We can see that Rashad White, I mean, he had his moments, but I feel like Bucky Irving has definitely proved himself over this whole. I feel like in the beginning, Bucky really, it took him time to kind of get used to the groove. And man, in that game though, I want to talk about Adam Thielen. In that age, playing in that kind of style, one-handed catch. I mean, he has. Do you guys think he has some more gas in him? Is there more of that we can see in Adam Thielen? Mikey, you don't think so? Mikey, don't. Was that just a game where he's like,
no, he's not what he was with Kirk Cousins at his peak in Minnesota, but he is a veteran presence that knows how to run a route, and Bryce Young has a bit of chemistry with him. The one play that stuck out in the game to me was the play that was called incomplete, that was clearly a touchdown in the end zone. Yeah, I don't know if you guys saw the play. An amazing catch. He definitely got the calf and the knee down. That should have been a touchdown. It changes the whole complexion of the game. Tampa Bay can't, it's not a tie game at the end of the fourth. Of course, there's all these what ifs, but I thought that Adam Thielen did have a great game and still has a flash to make a really incredible play or two. Is he an elite receiver? Not by any means, but you put some respect on Adam Thielen's name for still doing his thing.
for
So at 33, he's still lit. Still got a little pep in the step. So I mean, is he gonna
Sam.
get signed for a 4-year contract? I don't know, but you know what I'm saying.
You know what I'm about to ask Sam right now,
What's up?
David?
What?
I think I know a team that Sam probably doesn't want to make the playoffs, actually. Those Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Oh my God, I cannot believe it.
Yeah, who's been a thorn in the side of Philadelphia, my brother, for a few years, huh?
Few years. They've been getting us good.
They've been a thorn in the side of Philadelphia for a few years, and I felt like the embarrassment of that playoff loss last year is why you don't have to worry about it this year. If the Tampa Bay Buccaneers make the playoffs and play Philadelphia, Philadelphia will win by 3 touchdowns, I think. Like, they are not going to lose to that team again.
I mean, week 5, we lost 33-16. So, and we were 2-2 and they're 3-1 at that time. Right. But I mean, we in week 14
a little different now.
Yeah, a little different.
A little different. A little different.
For sure.
A little different.
But I still think the Falcons have the edge in that division over the Bucks, for me.
Yeah.
I don't think the Bucks would take this division, in my opinion. Coming with their.
So you think a wild card spot?
That's gonna be a little tough too in our NFC.
That's true.
Yeah, with the Vikings too in that division, I feel like Bucks. It's gonna be tough. I mean, 6-6. Both teams in that division 1 and 2 are 6-6, but I still think that Falcons have the edge. But that's what I think.
Yeah. Yes. No, I can hear that. They're just. I still can't trust Kirk Cousins. So I'm still, you know what I mean? I dropped him on my fantasy team. He's done me dirty. You know what I mean? Usually he's at least a top 10 contributor when it comes to fantasy quarterbacks. And I just think that Achilles, I think it's going to take him another year before he gets kind of situated. So, just is what it is. Maybe next year.
I'd love to hear if you boys would like to make some predictions for this upcoming week
All right, we
of our
going week
NFL
14?
season.
Week 14, guys. Let's go.
I'd love to run through some predictions
All right, let's get
with
Talk
the
it.
to us.
guys.
Talk to us. I could.
What
I
we
could
got?
do a
What's
little
the matchups
something,
like,
you
Mikey?
know what
Let's get it.
I'm saying?
Well, listen, we kick off on Thursday this week with a great historic rivalry, division rivalry
Exciting.
with the Green Bay Packers
Exciting.
playing in Detroit. Detroit didn't look incredible on Thanksgiving, right? Looked like they
Right.
had the foot on the gas in the first half, looked unstoppable, and then kind of fell back down to earth, huh? Crumbled a little bit.
little
Three and a
bit,
half
little
point
bit.
favorites going into this game.
That Bears
My
game.
prediction will be upset alert. I think Green Bay, if they
gonna
have
take
any
it?
shot of making a run for the division, this is the game that has to be the game. Jordan Love, efficient game, no turnovers. Josh Jacobs, a touchdown, no fumbles. I think it's a close one, but I, for some reason, have a gut feeling Green Bay Packers 23, Detroit Lions 20.
Ooh,
Mm.
getting their 10th win like that, that would be
Okay.
crazy.
He's thinking a short, a short,
Short week. Short
short
week,
week,
Okay.
low score.
low score. Okay, okay. That does keep in mind with the Thursday night theme of there's no team that scored less than 23 points in all of Thursday night. So that's the lowest score in terms of, or the highest, or the lowest high score.
Okay. That's cool.
So 23-20 will still kind of match with that. I think everybody's predicting a shootout. I think it's going to be a high scoring game, but I think the run game is going to be pivotal. Josh Jacobs, you got Gibbs, you got Montgomery. I think the defenses are going to play well. I'm a little concerned about the Packers playing in Detroit. The reason why, field's a little different. I'm playing outside. I'm used to playing out in the cold. I'm playing on my field. Now I'm playing in a dome. Might be a little different on the feet. Might have to change my cleats. But I'm still thinking it's gonna be a tough game for Detroit. Like I said, they played a lot of snaps this year. I'm thinking 31-17 Packers. Um, and I think Josh Jacobs runs for a couple touchdowns, and Jordan Love has a nice game. I don't think it's gonna be a clean game at all. I really don't. I think picks on both sides. So if you're a parlay man, put a touchdown on some people throwing, and put a touchdown on somebody throwing a pick, because it's gonna happen on both sides. So I think the run game is gonna be extremely important, but I see the Packers winning this game 31-7.
I'm going to have to go the other way, gentlemen. I'm going Lions winning 30-17 against the Packers, showing their dominance. Be like, nah, you ain't getting close in the division. Maybe go fight for the wild card, but you ain't touching my spot right now, I think. But I'm going Lions on this one. Let's go.
No,
Sonic and Knuckles.
True.
Sonic
Wow,
and
that's
Knuckles
kinda crazy.
wreaking havoc so
Yeah,
far.
Basically.
listen. I still believe in my boy Josh Jacobs. I think him leaving the Raiders last year put a little fire under his belly. I think they're talking about who's the best combo in terms of the running backs out there in the boys. So I still think, I don't know. I think it's gonna be a tough game. It's gonna be a tough game.
Combined record of 20-4 between these two teams. So really, really a
Wow.
great matchup this
Yeah.
week. So, but that segues to a matchup that is not a 20-4 record. It's a team that is not so good versus a team that's very good. Sam, your very own Philadelphia Eagles are 13-point favorites over the Carolina Panthers.
Yes.
And the Philadelphia Eagles are indeed playing at home. So there's no doubt in my mind that the Eagles will get a victory here. I think maybe we'll see a punch or two from the Carolina Panthers. I think that they've showed a little fight, and I actually respect Bryce Young. I love the way he's handled the benching and re-entry into that starting quarterback position. I'm gonna say Philadelphia Eagles 28 and Panthers 13, and I'm definitely thinking 1 touchdown and 100 yards rushing again
Saquon.
for Saquon Barkley.
Let's go. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Eagles, Panthers at Lincoln Financial. Eagles are now comfortable at home. They finished their road trip. Coming back home, I'm going Eagles 33-14. That's my score. It's gonna be crazy.
Guys, I think Carolina covers the spread. I think it's gonna be a little bit closer than you think. I'm thinking 30-23. I still think Philly wins just because Philly really, you know what I mean, is a better team, but I think they're a little banged up on defense. They lost a couple players in the last 2 weeks. I think this last game after Baltimore, I think guys are gonna be a little beat up. It was a physical game, so I think they might come off to a slower start. Especially what they did against Baltimore, I'm a little concerned. But I still think that the Philadelphia Eagles clear it, and but I think Carolina covers the spread. So don't worry about that.
Okay. All right.
What do we got? What do we got next on the plate?
I feel like we're gonna talk about the Jets and Dolphins division matchup at Miami. We going playoff spots are on the line. I'm just going to be quick with this. I think it's going to be a very good win for the Dolphins. I say it's going to be a 28 to like a 21. One touchdown difference with Miami winning. Taking it at home.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
I think whenever Miami's at home, I think it's warmer, it's nicer, there's prettier women, the beach is sandy. I think, you know what I mean? I think people get distracted. I think if you live in Miami, you're used to the fast life. When you're coming in from cold New York, I think it's going to be a little bit different. I think the boys are going to be a little distracted. So I definitely see Miami get whipping the Jets today or on Sunday. I think it's going to be a 31-17 type. 31-7, sorry.
7
type of game. I think 31-7.
Oh, a drubbing.
Domination.
I think it's time to bench Aaron Rodgers. We'll see what happens, but I think a 31-7 in Miami.
Damn.
Yeah. I mean, he might need to go on another darkness retreat because I don't think he's going to be under the spotlights for much longer. And I'm going to say Miami 28, New York 20.
Ooh, that's a little close one too.
Covering the spread. I think Miami's got that one. They actually have something to play for here with playoff implication, still barely scraping in the possibility for that wild card, but never say never.
Wow. Wow.
A matchup that I'm really excited to see because they have been quite entertaining ever since Deshaun Watson went down and that guy, Jameis Winston, has stepped in. Cleveland Browns are visiting Pittsburgh. You know, Pittsburgh really has surprised me with the consistency this year. The fact that they're able to air the ball out as effectively as they have has been surprising to me. The Browns have played a lot of tough games. I just don't think they're tough enough to get a dub in this one. I do think it's relatively close here, and I'm going to say Pittsburgh is going to probably put up 30 points, and the Browns will put up 24. So I'm going to go Pittsburgh 30 and Cleveland 24.
Well, nice. All right. I'm going to go, Steelers. I'm going Steelers going to win. It's going to be a low scoring, in my opinion. 18-14.
Wow.
Steelers, very close. Very close. Division, they're close. So I'm going like that in that one.
You think the Steelers are winning that?
Yeah, the Steelers going to win that 18-14.
Okay. I mean, I think both boys do for over 350, 400 in these past two games.
Yep.
I think the defense is gonna be tired, so I do think the running game is gonna be important. I'm feeling it's gonna be high scoring. I'm thinking 31-30. 31-30.
31-30? Wow.
31-30. I'm thinking that the Pittsburgh Steelers pull it out. I think Jameis just isn't reliable. I think in clutch situations from time to time. He did have those picks last game. So
Mm.
I do think it's going to be close.
Oof.
I think it's going to be within a field goal. So if Cleveland comes out of this, don't say I didn't tell you.
Wow.
Just saying. Don't say I didn't tell you.
Wow. 31-30 is crazy. That's going to be a matchup. Mikey, I see your camera kind of went down a little bit. I saw that.
I apologize for the technical difficulties. We have a little bit of a nuisance in the studio here, and he is a 1-year-old American short hair.
Wow.
That's my little guy Mew right there.
Let's go, Mew.
We love
Shout out
you. We love
Mew.
you.
Let's go.
It's all
He
right.
wa-
It took me. So what were you saying?
He needed to make his prediction on that game right here. He came crashing in. He
jumped in.
said, "Boy, y'all talking Steelers Browns divisional rivalry?"
Let's
funny.
go.
That's fun.
An interesting matchup that we have coming up after will be the return of Kirk the Don Cousins up into that
Oh,
Minnesota air.
That's crazy.
So I think it's been tough, a kind of a bit of skidding, right, for Kirk and for the Falcons, really jockeying for position, but so are the Vikings. The Vikings are like the most under the radar 10-win team,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Like, is anyone pegging them as like maybe a dark horse, but I don't think anyone's really pegging them.
No.
That being said, they struggled and just pulled it out against Arizona.
True.
So I think they're going to have a concentrated game. I'm not going to go into upset alert here, but I do have it close. I'm going to say Minnesota 23 and Atlanta 20. Another low scoring, close game. I just think Minnesota has that gear in them to win these close games this year.
Wow. Wow. Oh, wow. I'm saying.
I think.
Yeah. It was,
Sorry, what were you saying? What
No,
were you saying, Sam?
I was about to say, like, Kirk coming off 4 picks. I feel like Falcons going to take this, upset the Vikings. Imagine this. Like, this story going to be crazy. He's like, all right, I'm sure he knows. He reads his own articles, I'm sure. I feel like Kirk is coming off. He's going to get like a 32 to like 28. It's going to be close. It's going to be, because, Vikings, you can't be like, they whack. You can't say that. They 10-2. So I say 32-28, upset Falcons. Let's go. Kirk Cousins, I believe.
Kirk Cousins, you believe?
I believe.
You believe?
I believe.
Listen, I might have to jump on the train with you, drink a little bit of that Kool-Aid as well. I'm for some reason, big money Kirk just comes up in big games. You know what I'm saying? You like that. You like that.
How you
For some reason, your boy he just shows up. I think coming back home. I think this might be one of his last 303 touchdown games.
Damn.
It's like, you know what I'm saying? He might not have one of these nights again, but I think the return of Kirk Cousins is going to be big money Kirk coming back in the building, letting know Minnesota, I still got it one more time. So we'll see. But I think it's more with Sam Darnold. I think he's been regressing over the last couple games. I do understand the comeback last game, but the hole. I'm already in a hole. That's the thing, and Atlanta can hold a lead. So we'll see. We'll see what happens.
Let's go. Mikey, what we got in the next matchups?
Well, we got a couple crappy teams that, still got to play each other, right?
Yeah,
the
they
New
still
Orleans
gotta-
Saints are going to play the New York Giants, right? And it's probably won't watch that one, right? I probably won't put it on my calendar and schedule to watch it, but I'm going to say that the Saints will cover the spread on this one. They're 5-point favorite. It's in New York, but I got New Orleans
matter.
winning this game 21-10. I think the Giants are going to have a hard time moving the ball. I think that the Rams had a hard time last week against that Saints team. Saints always, no matter what, seem to have a pretty hard, tough defense. So I'm gonna say Saints 21, Giants 10. And underwhelming game.
Yeah, both teams are very it's it's not like a good intriguing match to watch. I say I still give the edge to the Saints. I'll lean to like 21-7. I mean, Giants are just bad. It's so bad. But yeah, that's me. Dave, what we got? Who you thinking?
I mean, the Saints, they lost Taysom Hill.
Yeah, blows.
So, I mean, you know, I don't know if they're really going to be able to have that combo. The Giants, am I starting for the New York Giants on Sunday?
You could.
Who's starting for the Giants on Sunday? I'm not sure.
Oh God.
Just like I don't know. I don't know who's starting. Let me know. I don't know. I don't know.
Yo,
I
is
don't
neighbors
know.
playing? I don't even know.
I don't know. It's gonna be a 50-50 coin
Yo,
flip.
flip
Oh,
the
who's gonna
yo,
be
coin
playing?
flip.
And depending on who gets hurt at halftime, again, 50-50 coin flip, who's gonna be playing. So, you know what I mean? If you got a parlay, maybe both quarterbacks have 5 passing attempts. You never know. And maybe if the New York Giants, you know what I mean, something bad happens, they can call your boy Camden Lee, and I can get my behind over there, and I can throw a ball or two for the New York Giants, because that's what it's looking like for New York. I mean, yeah, it's two decent teams. Neither one of them are gonna make the playoffs. So, but I'd love to see. I'd love to see if I get a call. You never know.
Yo, Giants. Hit up Camden Lee. Let's get it.
Let
Come
me
on,
know. I play
got you.
flag football on
He got
Thanksgiving.
you.
Add a touchdown and some change. You know what I'm saying? Your
Let's
boy do some
go.
things.
You already
So
know.
shoot. But yeah, running through these games, there's a couple games that are all right. But I mean, one game that I'm really excited about
Yeah, which one?
is the Cardinal Seahawks. You know what I mean?
Division
I know
matchup.
it's a division matchup. I know Call of Duty is out now, so you know what I mean. It might be one of them times, but for some reason Arizona doesn't like Seattle, and Seattle don't like Arizona.
Nope.
So I think that's gonna be a really great game. You know, I really think for some reason, the Seahawks pulled it out last week. I don't think they're gonna do it twice in a row. I think
Ooh.
I think the Cardinals have a victory, 27-18. I think
Ooh.
Seattle just isn't able to withstand. I think an assault that Kyler Murray's gonna put. I think he's gonna do that. Then he's gonna go on Call of Duty and get about 25 kills, because that's usually what he does after game day. So you know what I mean. So that's
Okay.
that's that's really my prediction with that. So we'll
Okay.
we'll see. What are we thinking?
Okay. I mean,
I'm gonna have to
yeah.
go the opposite way. I think Seattle has a real golden opportunity to give themselves a huge advantage to win this division.
Yes.
This is the game. Geno Smith needs to have a signature game right here. DK Metcalf might have to chase down, someone 99 yards down the field just to save a touchdown, just to maybe hope to save the game again. But you know what?
Buddha.
I got Seattle winning this one. I think they've been looking pretty good. They've had a solid year. I like that young coach. I just think the Cardinals are too hot and cold, whereas the Seahawks kind of have the similar identity. So I'm gonna go Seattle Seahawks 24, Arizona Cardinals 20.
Mm.
I'm going to slide on the Mikey train and go Seahawks too. And I feel like Kenneth Walker is going to have a great game come into this Bird Bowl and their own division Bird Bowl. Yeah, I feel like Seahawks with this win is going to get them 8-5, and Cardinals going to be down 6-7, up 2 games, maybe like 4 weeks left. Seahawks there's a great opportunity to them for definitely secure them a spot in the division. I'm going Seahawks 28, Cardinals 20. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Huh? All right. I know your Bills, your Josh Allen, and your Bills is playing Matthew Stafford.
Oof.
What's going on? The Bills come to Los Angeles, come
From
to
the
the warm
cold,
LA,
they're going to sunshine.
sunshine. They get out the snow. They
They
jump from
went
the sun to
straight
the
from the snow.
Yep.
Straight from the
straight from the
snow
straight
to the
from the
sun.
snow to the sunshine and goodness,
Sunshine.
do you think the Bills on a tear right now? You think they've won 7 in a row? You think they'll do one more?
They're
You
gonna
know what
make
I
it
mean?
8. They're gonna make it 8. They're gonna make
You
it
think they're
8.
gonna make it 8? They're gonna
Yep.
make it 8.
They're gonna make it 8. Buffalo Bills are gonna put up a nice solid outing. Probably I'll say another 3 tutties, right?
Mm-hmm.
For Josh Allen. We'll give him
Definitely.
1 rushing and 2 passing. No interceptions would be really the biggest, that's the biggest plus if he can go no interceptions. Limit the
Mm.
turnovers. The Rams are not as explosive, and Buffalo cements themselves for that first seed. They're really pushing for it.
Okay. Okay.
All right. It's gonna be like that Eagles Rams game, everybody. Is this gonna be domination, Bills Nation? SoFi's gonna be all lit with Bills fans because that's what we saw in the Eagles Rams game. It was all Eagles fans. We were chanting our Eagles song. We were going crazy. So I'm going Bills all the way. Same idea, same picture, same concept. Bills are gonna win like I'm going 30, 35, 15. We'll give a little bit to the Rams. Josh Allen,
Damn.
you already know. You already know. Yes, sir.
Josh Allen has another big game.
He's
You
gonna have a
think
big game.
Josh
He's gonna have
Allen
a big game.
throws for another touchdown, runs for another touchdown,
300
and
plus. That would be crazy if he does it
receives
again. That would be
another
nuts.
think you going for the trifecta again? I mean,
That's his
listen,
own record.
Amari Cooper, keep playing like that with him. You never know. Backyard football.
Facts.
Another game talking about Los Angeles.
Big one.
The Chargers head to the Chiefs.
Mm-hmm.
This is gonna be big.
Big.
This is gonna be big. This is a divisional game. You feel me? And both teams
Wild card.
are doing the thing. I mean, 11-1 for the Chiefs, 8-4 for the Chargers.
This is the
If I'm
worst 11-1 team we've seen in a while, right? Right?
I mean, yes, you're right. Yes, it is. I mean, the Chiefs look worse than they did, or almost as bad as they did last year, but they still won the chip. Now,
Facts.
the Chargers and the Broncos are nearly as good as they were, are nearly as bad, sorry, as they were last year. They are playing phenomenal, and I really think, as much as I know my Chiefs are gonna win the chip, they're gonna lose this game. I think the Chargers win this 26-20. I don't think there's enough firepower for the Chiefs. I mean, it's hard to bet on my boy Mahomes. It's really tough. You know what I mean? But yeah, I just feel like these close games that the Chiefs are winning, I think it's just
It's not gonna.
the rabbit's foot. The rabbit's foot can only be so lucky.
Mm.
I think we hold it for this game. We lose this game so that we can save it for another time in the playoffs. That's just me.
Wow. Chiefs, I feel like are gonna take this one. Very important game for the Chargers because Chiefs locked their spot. But I feel like it's gonna be a very close divisional matchup. I'm going Chiefs gonna win 24-19. Very close. Very close.
You know what? I'm gonna hop on to I'm gonna hop onto the Chargers bandwagon for this game. I think that the Chiefs have lucked out, like extremely lucked out, a couple times. And if it's a close game again, like it could be, the luck runs out eventually. They're the better team come playoff time, long run, but the Chargers need to make the playoffs, and I think that this is Harbaugh's game to elevate and for Herbert to, remind people why we was talking so highly of him these first couple of years of his career. I think that there's been a lot of great football this week. Sam, I know that there's some stuff that I'm sure, are excited to talk about. We've had a lot going on with the free agency in baseball, and we've had a lot going on in the NBA. What's going on? Bring us into what you're feeling.
I'm feeling. Want to talk about some? I'll talk some baseball real quick. if you want, we can move on to some MLB real quick,
I
because we're
I
not in
need my
season.
my resident
Yeah, I
expert in
got
MLB
you.
to catch me up what's
I
going on.
got
That's
y'all
what
with the
I think I
latest
need
free
that.
agency news, everybody already. Today, this morning, Aroldis Chapman signed with the Boston Red Sox. This man, this is his sixth team. He played for the Yankees for a little bit, won it with the Cubbies, and came back to the Yankees for like 2-3 years. Went to the Pirates. Now he's gonna face us for a little bit. So he signed with the Red Sox for a $10.75 million contract. Pretty similar to what he got last year. He got 10.25 with the Pirates last year. So it was a pretty, I feel like, fair contract. We're moving on to Frankie Montas. He signed a 2-year, $34 million contract with the Mets. Mets are slowly, I feel like, they're trying to build on what they have. Of course, they want, all eyes on Soto right now. Moving on, Kyle Higashioka, catcher, who played in the Padres last year, signed a 2-year contract, $13.5 million with the Texas Rangers. Everything fully guaranteed. Going little from last week, we saw Blake Snell signing last week. We talked about, but we forgot about to talk about Tommy Edman signed a 5-year extension, $74 million contract with the Los Angeles Dodgers. NLCS MVP, this guy racked up money, but he has a deferment in his contract. 25 of his salaries deferred at $2.5 million over 10 years, 5 years after his contract ends. So I saw the other day the Dodgers, I think from the year 2027 to year 2045, in total they owe over $1 billion to these players. So good luck at that time. I mean, they just won their first one, and if they maybe get 2 more, I feel like it could be worth it, but we'll see. We got our starting pitcher Matt Boyd, 2-year contract, $29 million with the Chicago Cubs. And that kind of wraps up like the most recent free agency. But right now, the latest buzz is, of course, Juan Soto. He's getting contracts from the Dodgers, the Yankees, the Mets, the Blue Jays, and the Red Sox. I'm hearing a lot of buzz with this Red Sox signing, and I'm like, wow, that's a very interesting. They're going to the rival right after you played on the Yankees, but we'll see. I feel like money talks. It depends on what the owners want to spend. Apparently, the contract offers are all in right now. So right now, Juan Soto is going to have a chance with his agent, Scott Boras, to kind of discuss on what he wants for their future. Because I know that Boras wants a record in somewhat of a way. So that's the MLB news. Mikey, if you want to give us an NBA, start off with some NBA action.
Yeah, but I'm happy to. The quick question before we jump over.
Yeah.
Is there any chance
that
the Boston Red Sox sign Juan Soto and then look to land Vladdy as well? Is there any shot? Is there any chance?
That's a big picture.
Any chance in hell that somehow they go all in on Juan Soto and for Vladdy? I don't know. I might find myself back at Fenway Park a lot this year if that happens.
If they can build around what's his name, Devers. And if you can lock in Soto, and next year, because the free agency next year, the big names are going to be Vladdy and Kyle Tucker from the Astros. So if Vladdy can come first base for the Red Sox, I mean, that core would be kind of deadly. Like that strong Red Sox lineup that we always saw in the early 2000s could come back in resurgence for sure. Dangerous.
And I think Juan already had his time with the Yankees. I think he, you know what I'm saying, he kind of sees, okay, you know what I mean? Let me see what New England is like. Let me see what Boston's like. You know what I mean? We love our players here. You know what I mean? And we treat them well. We take care of them. We're great fans. So, you know what I mean? He might be able to see maybe these guys like the Judges and the other ones, just when it comes to the clutch games, can't get it done. I need to be with guys who can handle the pressure. Maybe it's time to be a go on my own ship. Head to Beantown. Let them know.
I mean, the Red Sox only have $120 million in contracts right now.
Oh, that's nothing.
That's nothing.
That's $5 to them.
$300 million is the max for luxury tax in MLB right now. So they have $180 million to spend in terms of per year in this year.
That's what I'm saying. They chilling. That's $5 to them. They listen. They start getting bread. And I think the Chapman signing, I think, tells you a lot because he is a journeyman, right?
Yes.
So he's going from the Pirates where maybe he's like, hey, I had a decent year. I
You
played
did.
pretty well.
You
Let
did.
me go to a possible contender where I'm going to be needed and I can maybe, mess up somebody's day being the honest Chapman man that I am. So, I mean, I'm
One.
really excited about these free agent signings. I really would love to see Soto in the Red Sox. I'd really love to see my boys back in the chip because living in LA, seeing Mookie and the Dodgers win it after I feel like it's a Red Sox resurgence over here just in blue. You know what I mean? I need to see something good. Come on, Soto. Head to us. Come on to the Sox. We love you. It's gonna be great. You know what I'm saying? We got everything you need. Let them know. A chupa everything. Que lo que, you know what I'm saying? Let them know. Que lo que.
Que lo que. I mean, he's still on the East Coast, so it's easy for him to just hop over if he does.
Listen, hop in a train, baby. Hop on a
I
train. You
guess
know what
all,
I'm
all,
saying?
all
Ain't
it takes is
nothing.
just one train ride, right?
Listen, you want to head to New
Quick,
York?
quick
You know what I'm
ride over.
saying? Quick
Even
ride over. You want to head
even
to New
quicker
York?
flight. Even quicker flight.
45 minutes. 45
45.
minutes.
Damn.
45 minutes. If you want to head
Well,
to the big pit.
YBK, thank you for
Yes.
your MLB update and
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Of
expertise,
course. Of course.
keeping
Gotcha.
me in the loop. And I think it's time that we talk a little bit about NBA now.
Let's get
It's
it.
been it's been a week since we had to touch base, right?
Mm-hmm.
Not too much shakeups in the standings, huh? Not too much
No,
crazy
not
shakeups
much.
in the standings. I think we could start off over here. Really, I think this last week we've seen a rash of some annoying and pesky injuries, right?
Yes.
So, couple players that I feel like were, really who are showing promise here, or people that we expect to play at an all-star level who've gone down, right? So
Yes.
we saw LaMelo Ball, right, with the calf strain. You know what happens when there's a calf strain. You don't
Mm-hmm.
play with that. We saw what happened in the playoffs a few years back when the Warriors played with that calf strain with KD.
Yep.
And, I feel bad because LaMelo been putting on a show for everyone this year. So I felt like that was a rough hit.
Because he came back from an injury last year and he started nice, and then now he's back in the IL. So that's
Yeah.
tough for us to
Putting
see.
up 40 pieces and 50 pieces. So
Yeah.
I
dishing the
mean, look,
ball
This is
going
a
and
crazy.
one.
this is a great
And one.
And what?
opportunity
That's
for
what I'm saying.
now.
Looking like Gilbert Arenas out here in
Gilbert.
2024.
Yes, sir.
I'm serious.
I
I'm
mean,
serious.
for the Hornets, I feel like this is a great chance for Brandon Miller to continue to ball for this team right now. Because as a sophomore, like we talk about sophomore slump, but this man has been. All I see is like an increase, just exponential increase in this guy, and is what he outputs for the team right now. Brandon Miller. Shout out to Brandon Miller. So what's going on, Mikey, with Joel Embiid, bro? He's been. What's going on with this man?
Well, unlike the Milwaukee Bucks, who have turned around their tough start of the season, the Philadelphia 76ers are still trying to get their footing, right? It hasn't just been Embiid, it's also been Paul George. Maxi has not, I mean, he scores, but how efficient has he been? The sad part about Joel Embiid is we heard all of the talk going into the season about not playing back to backs and
Yes.
the players only meetings where people are questioning the commitment. And I think that that's the biggest issue. Like we know that he's had issues with injuries. Like he missed his whole when he came into the league. Remember, he didn't play.
The whole
He
year.
was drafted. He didn't
Right,
play.
right.
Yeah, he's gone. So we know that the guys this big who play long seasons, it's hard to sustain it. It's why I'm dumbfounded by Nikola Jokic, who trots up and down,
He's
labored running, but does it every night and putting up
he averaging
a
triple
30-point
double.
triple double.
Yeah,
Yeah,
every
so
day, day in day out.
I'm gonna hold out some hope because I have Joel Embiid sitting on that injured spot on my fantasy team, and listen, he come through. It's gonna be a problem for everyone. It's gonna be a real problem for everyone. So I wouldn't necessarily count on it with how the Philadelphia 76ers have started this year.
Yeah, what are they right now? What's their record? 5-14. They just won today against the Hornets, but man, that's not what we thought of coming into the season in the big
9
house.
games below 500,
But
and almost
Mikey,
25 games through.
Mikey,
Not at
the
all.
Bucks are in a 7-game winning streak, and Giannis has been on a tear, like a tear. And Dame, don't forget about Dame too. But Giannis, oh Giannis. Even today, they just beat the Pistons 128-107, and Giannis in 28 minutes just dropped 28 points, 7 rebounds, 8 assists. David, talk to me about Giannis. This man.
I mean, I've been fortunate to see the Greek freak play a couple times. It doesn't look like he's doing much. You'll see the tap ins, you'll see a dunk, you'll see a layup or two. But the man will drop 30, 10, and 8, and it's like blinking. Like you look up at the score and you're just like, oh my goodness, like this man has 30 points. So like he is so large, so strong, so fast. I think with Dame being able to stretch the floor, you know what I mean? I think it's created a matchup nightmare. And I think especially with Joel, as we just talked about, being injured, I think it's just something where I think Giannis and Dame are finding their footing. They're having good games. They're able to play off of each other, and I think they're able to build some chemistry. I think this is what we thought we were gonna see last year. So, and I think the Bucks are really trying to help Giannis stay because he could be heading to LA, hanging with your boy La Triple. But I don't know. That's just what I've heard on the street. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. But I know the Bucks are really trying to make him happy. And I think with Dame and him having some chemistry, I think it's great. I still think they need another piece
Yeah,
before the All-Star break. I really do. But I do think, my twin, my 7-foot twin, you know what I'm saying? I think my boy Giannis is playing well, and I'm really grateful that he found a teammate that can really accentuate his talents a little bit more.
Definitely. I mean, the Bucks started off 2-7, and this is what I think. Bucks started off 2-7, and I was like, "What's going on?" And then I hear Giannis trade rumors, and then it gets shut down the next day. But I feel like that kind of pissed off Giannis a little bit. It's like you don't put my name and like no trade rumor, right? This is my team, so I feel like he took that kind of personally. And look at what we're seeing right now. They flying.
Let's not forget how effective the Bucks were playing prior to firing their head coach last year and bringing Doc Rivers in. They were 15, 20 games over 500. It was like a really good team,
Right.
just not as amazing as the Celtics. We're like a couple games off the Celtics. It's like, all right, like you knew. I had a feeling, whereas the 76ers, I'm not confident that they can turn it around yet. I had a feeling the Bucks could turn this around, and so we're seeing that.
Definitely.
I'm happy for them. I think that the trade's doing dividends. You know what I mean? Let's see if they can make the playoffs and do something great. But I'm happy for them for right now. I'm happy.
Yeah.
What other news we got going around the NBA?
I mean, we can talk about the West Coast, the Western Conference, about the Clippers. You can't sleep on them Clippers. James Harden just broke 3-point record and surpassed Ray Allen. He is second place all-time 3-point made. This man has been balling, and the Clippers are currently on a 7-0 streak at home. Intuit Dome has been treating them well.
It's a low-key flex.
That stadium, and they are now 10-7. The Clips are 5th seed in the West, and they're the 6th best defensive team in the league. So, man, oh man, you can't sleep on the Clips in the West Coast too. Because I feel like.
Do you think that new dome is putting new life in them?
I mean, man, all I've done was watch the videos about the dome and like the wall they built, like when the opposing team shoots a free throw, like the interactive experience that a user can have in the stadium, like T-shirts flying from the top of the little circle screen. Like, there's a lot of things I feel like the Ballmer that him and his company kind of brought into this dome is more of the fan experience, what I saw through their video. So it kind of brings that home field advantage, I feel, even more for these players as well. And this is a brand new court. First year.
Brand new.
And the Clippers have been borrowing the Lakers home for the past how many years, you know? So I feel like this is very exciting for this organization. So Man, they've been balling. They've been balling.
They still the Lakers' little brother, but you know
Oh
what I'm saying? They
yeah,
got their own house for the
yeah.
first time. Shout,
Yep,
shout out, shout out to them. You
yep,
know what I'm saying? They finally
definitely.
saved enough money, got off the Lakers couch, decided to, you know what I'm saying, buy their own house. So I'm grateful for y'all.
Hmm.
Hopefully y'all can do some damage. You know what I'm saying? And shout out to James Harden, low key flex, 2 over all the time. You know what I'm saying? I think
Yeah.
that's a testimony to him because he was a six man on the Thunder, and now you know what I mean. He's the top two
Mm.
3-point shooter of all
Yes,
time.
sir. He
You know what I'm
is.
saying?
He is.
So, you know what I'm saying? Boy's nice. Gotta give it to him. Gotta give it to him. Shout out to you, James Harden. For real, for real.
Definitely, definitely. Mikey, you want to talk to us about the Houston Rockets
Yeah,
and their dominance?
a team I was surprised with when we spoke last week that has continued to play well
Hmm.
as a
Mm.
team, right?
Definitely.
Like they're really sitting there right next to Oklahoma City.
Yep.
That's a very close. I will say it's a close conference, so
Yeah.
will I 100% say that 20 games in this year that I believe that
Right.
they're going to
Right.
win 15 out of every 20 games they play? I'm not sure, but I'm very impressed. A young team for the most part. I really like the growth of Alperen Şengün. He's been
Yes.
playing very efficient. I really think that this team is performing, at above the level that I thought that roster would allow. But Jalen Green, great scorer, starting to come into form. And when
Yes.
you have a good, an NBA champion like Freddie Van
Freddie.
Fleet to kind of help those guards develop a little bit, I really think we're seeing the fruits of the Rockets acquisitions from 2 years ago
Yes.
paying
Mm-hmm.
off after that
Mm-hmm.
whole year of some chemistry. And you got some hard-nosed people like Dylan Brooks. You seen him getting into it with his fellow Canadian
Yeah.
SGA
Yeah.
when they played the other day. That sort of chippiness is important for a squad like this. So
True.
I gotta
True.
say, I'm really impressed with the Rockets team. I really am impressed with the Rockets team.
I feel like the Rockets, like that starting five, each of them knows what their job is. Type.
Mm.
They know
Mm.
what they're supposed to do in that position. Like that classic kind of ball
Mm-hmm.
where it's like you a point guard, you're a floor facilitator, you know what I'm saying? That's Freddie, Like type, like you're a shooting guard, you're the main offense. Come on, give us that. Like you're a wing, like give us that. Like look at Sengun, double double. He's going like what, 18, 10. Like that's his job. Like he's protecting the floor, he's protecting the glass. I feel like each guy knows what they're doing. Definitely.
Yeah. I think with the 1.2 blocks, Sengun's really showing a dominance in the
Mm,
paint. And I
definitely.
think, the crazy thing is too is Van Fleet is averaging almost two steals a game. So I think he's really putting a dominance, you know what I mean, on that defensive front and letting those boys know, okay, we got to play good defense. We need to play strong,
Yes.
um, because we're young and we can when we play good defense and we get the ball, we can run the floor and we can score.
Definitely.
So I think you know what I mean. Having some championship caliber understanding and some wisdom on a young team gives the Houston Rockets, you know what I mean, a definitely advantage, especially now that they're 3-0 in the NBA Cup. So, I'm hoping that moving forward, they might be able to do something nice. So,
Definitely. Definitely. I mean, David, you said Le Triple. Let's talk
let
about
it
the
eat.
let's talk about the Lakers. You go.
Listen,
Yeah.
man.
Yes. Talk to me.
You know what I mean? My Lakers, we got eliminated from the NBA Cup.
Yep.
I
I saw
understand
that.
that was my prediction, so I'm eating a little crow right now. I get it. You know what I'm saying? Um, However, what I mean, my man's Le Triple. I'm still calling him that. Still my man LeBron James. Um, I still think he's getting ready for a playoff run. So
Hmm.
I'm not too worried about that. I guess they said the NBA, the cup, the intramural cup, the midseason cup, not really our thing. We're trying to do
Nope.
something else. But my boy, my favorite white boy, Dalton Connect. I'm
Hmm.
telling you right now, this
Yes.
boy is a
Yes.
shooter. this boy is showing what it means to be a Laker. I mean, are you guys excited to see Dalton Connect really show his NBA prowess?
So excited.
I mean, I talk to me. Mikey, I know it's late for you. I know tonight's, I mean, a little different, but I know it's late for you to catch these NBA games on the West Coast. But did you see Dalton Connect put up some points and do his thing the last couple games? Talk to me, Playboy.
Well, he tied that record for most 3 points, right? Rookie 3 points in a game.
Yes, sir.
He's
Yes, he
had some
did.
he's had some great performances this year. Like unlike we just talked about, the Houston Rockets, Reed Shepard is their rookie, right? We
Yep.
haven't really heard a lot,
Not
but
really.
we have heard a lot about Dalton Connect climbing this rookie ladder, right?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Jared McCain had taken a little bit of a lead
Right.
there,
Right.
right? And then you had
Sixers. Yeah.
Stephon Castle on like San Antonio. But I think actually, if we're looking at the top three ladder, like I would be surprised if Dalton Connect doesn't land on it for the most recent update that's going to come from the NBA for it.
Hmm.
Kid's a good shooter. I can't say that I know much about his defensive prowess. That's something that maybe some Lakers fans who've watched the games have seen. I think he's a huge help when LeBron is obviously getting tired, right? He was on his tear and now he's on that, he's kind of had a little bit of a downtime and now the tune has changed. You don't need to play 82 games no more, LeBron. You don't got to play 82.
Nah.
Like you're not
Nope.
getting no bonus points out of it. So I
Nope.
really think that that's the kind of chemistry that they need and the kind of young player they need to make sure that they can still get some wins even if they let LeBron get some rest because
Yeah.
AD, Connect, Reeves, Rui, they should be able to
Yeah.
if D'Lo can start playing well, they should be able to win some games.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I
And I
mean.
think, I mean, we've had a lot of injuries going down, or guys, a little tweaks. We wouldn't call them injuries, just tweaks, because we're knocking on wood that they're not too hurt. But I think Connect really will, with his insertion in the starting lineup, moving D'Lo to coming off the bench. You know what I mean? It puts a lot of things into play. You know what I mean? I know when
Yeah.
it comes to the trade rumors, I know Sam, you have your ears to the ground like nobody's business. Should the Lakers trade D'Lo or keep him on the bench? Talk to me. What are you feeling?
I mean, we can see like Dalton. If he's starting, he's averaging almost 20 points per game, guys. I feel like if the Lakers starting five goes to like Austin, Connect, Rui, Braun, AD, and if they continue to find success in this lineup, why not trade a caliber player like D'Lo and try to fill positions that we need right now
It's
and
true.
get a
True.
more valuable asset for us to help Lakers for the playoff run. Because right now, like we said, Braun is not gonna play 82 games. We like
No.
Dalton's definitely in a position where he can fill those minutes, but we need something more to solidify that chance.
Yeah.
So I feel
Yeah.
like definitely yes, we should trade and add even more from D'Lo, like to get a bigger piece in our lineup.
Yeah.
Definitely.
I mean, the Chicago Bulls talking about a fire sale.
Fire sale.
I mean, do we think you think a little
Vucevic.
Vujicic?
Yeah,
You know what I'm
Vucevic.
saying? You trade a Vujicic and D'Lo? You know what I mean? Or do we think we try to do something and really shake it up and get a Levine? You know what I mean?
Mm.
I just I like the chemistry that's happening now, but imagine Reeves, Connect, Levine, LeBron, AD
AD. Yeah.
type of
And
lineup.
Rui can go on the
You know what
bench
I
or
mean?
something, or trade him or something for.
You know what I'm saying? And
Mm.
so I mean, it's just I think we need another big man. Big man. I think having LeBron play power forward for 82, possibly what 120 games.
Yeah.
115 games, 116 games if they make it to the finals. You know what I mean? I think we need to give him some time. So
I
we'll see
agree.
what happens with Dalton. I think he's a great player. I'm really excited. I think JJ's really shown him how to be an NBA player and how to be an NBA shooter.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, we'll see. We'll see what happens with my Lakers. You know what I mean? I think we're on the bigger and better things after this in-season cup. So we'll see after the All-Star break. You know what I'm saying? We'll definitely be able to see what happens.
That's when
after
the
that.
trade deadline happens, when things get spicy. So definitely.
Now, listen. If we're doing well and we're in the top 3, top 4, maybe we might not. As long as we don't play Denver that first round, I'm feeling all right.
That's an issue. Speaking of Denver, they just beat the Warriors 119 to 115. Close game. Jokic dropping 38, 10 and 6. This man is.
This boy can do no wrong.
Crazy. This
I don't know what
crazy.
it is about Jokers, but this man can do no wrong. Like, Mikey, I know you've watched a couple Denver games. What is it about Joker that is just unstoppable? You know what I mean? At the end of the day.
If they knew the answer to that, they would defend it better. If there was an answer to that, that's what's unreal about these Europeans who just, these Finnish countries, these countries out there, the Slovakians, the Latvians, right?
Yep.
There's something about Luka Doncic and Nikola Jokic that transcends, basketball as we know it. That's why what makes them. Vision is an important part, right? Being able to dish the ball, being able to rebound, but effortless scoring. And, they really need to lean on him now. No Aaron Gordon, right? Aaron Gordon's down for a bit, so they're going to need to lean on him for the big man scoring. And, he's getting another MVP. He continues to play like this, no doubt.
You think he's going to wind up with 6 or 7 of these joints? This man he collects them like they mantles on the joint. Just give me another one. Give me another one. Give me another one.
He don't care about that award. He wants a different trophy.
That man only cares about 2 things: NBA championships and his horses.
Yes.
That's it.
Yeah, facts.
Those are the only 2 things. If it's not a new horse or a new championship, he's like,
he didn't want to go. He didn't even want to go to a parade. He goes, "Oh, when you gonna go?" He's like, "I gotta go feed my horses." Like, that's not even a question.
I did my job.
I got the ring. And I'm going back to my country.
Am I getting paid? I'm just here so I don't get fined. That's only the reason why he was there.
Yep.
He's like, I'm not getting paid for it.
Exactly.
So what am I doing? What am I doing?
Such dominating.
He's a great player. Transitional, unbelievable.
Yes.
I wonder if he's gonna go down as a top 10 player. I really do.
He's on pace.
Got to win some more chips, though. Got to win championships. That's you know how people.
You think the MVPs don't matter? You think if he wins 7 MVPs,
no,
he still can't be a top 10 player?
No, I mean, what do people say about Walt Chamberlain, right? It's like you got to win championships. Why is Magic Johnson the best point guard of all time, right? What if Curry gets another? Is Curry the best? We know how the conversations work.
Yeah.
But if say he could play like this at LeBron's age, we'll talk. We'll talk in a few years down the road.
Like when he's like 40. Oh my goodness.
Going crazy.
Beautiful.
Going crazy.
Well, it's been an eventful week.
Yes.
And I'm excited to see as we get into the knockout stage for this NBA Cup. Yep. We're pretty close. So definitely. I feel like next episode we're gonna be talking about we're gonna see how these predictions are shaking out.
Because it goes to quarterfinals, right? Right after.
We're getting close to that
Mikey,
knockout
you're the
stage
only
right
person that has your team on the NBA Cup. The Warriors are
still in it.
They're going.
Still in it.
The Kings.